seeing beyond. Active TV, see.
Welcome, good morning, and you're welcome to Voters' Choice on Active TV. My name is Nami Okaino. You're back on your screens, and it's all about the 2020 general election. There's a lot going on with the political leaders on social media that we are seeing. Others are being trolled, for losing the 2020 general election. Some incumbents, members of parliament were able to maintain their seats, while others lost their seats. It's either to the opposition party or vice versa. Today on the show, I'll be speaking to some of my colleagues that were able to be on the grounds yesterday for them to give us a little overview of what they experienced yesterday. Some were also privileged to visit the headquarters of the incumbent party, which is the NPP, and the opposition party, the NDC. This is Voters' Choice on Active TV. We are live on Active TV on Facebook, live on Active TV GH on YouTube. Feel free to like, share, leave a comment, and we'll be reading that on the show whilst the show continues. We'll take a break. When we come back, discussion continues.
This is the Voters' Choice.
As Ghanaians are heading to the polls to
We
select...
are across the country.
I am currently at
We are at your doorstep.
The name is called Odududu Odu.
We are first to break the news as it unfolds. We are the first to make the headlines in elections 2020.
TV, as we give you the in-depth of your choice.
We are first in location.
For your candid, in-depth analysis of political issues before, during, and after December 7. If it is politics, business, entertainment, and sports, then it's right here on Active TV.
This is the Voters' Choice.
But the important thing is that this is not a war. Nobody is fighting anybody. Yes, you are trying to vote, you are trying to vote. Come on, Miss Mobie, I love you, small. Yeah, no more sunny. I don't expect people to die over this. They should understand that we have only one country. It's only Ghana. So but I will tell you, those who make noise, boot for boot, so and so, which firepower do they have? If people are coming, if these security forces are coming, where would they be? At the end of the day, say when you vote, go home. When you vote, you go home. Around 4:30, we'll close at 5. Come and let's see, witness the counting. Don't walk about and disturb anybody. My greatest worry is those who go and vote wrongly. They go and put their fingerprint the faces of people they claim they don't like.
They don't like it, so just punch it on the face.
They abuse them on top. You are who vote for you. And the rest, we should teach them how to vote. Make sure that they put it at the right place. They don't spoil the ballots. Because at the end of the day, you find quite a number of ballots. They are all declared spoiled ballots. Somebody would have won.
On Active TV, and I mentioned earlier on that if you are tense and you are getting all anxious and not waiting patiently for the EC to declare the results, the best place for you to be, I would say, is social media. Because when you go there, there's the latter side of issues going on there, we have some of the videos trending, some of the trending videos with us. In between our conversation here on the show, my producer will be playing that on the screens for you. And then we have a little discussion surrounding that. Now, yesterday, a lot happened. And I mentioned on the show whilst we were having an analysis that there are two constituencies that I'm looking forward to find out their results, which was the Ayawaso West and then the Ododo constituency. Now, in Ododo constituency, yesterday we didn't hear good news. Reports we received yesterday from the constituency showed that people turnout to voting yesterday was very down, and then aside that, people comported themselves very well. Those that went to vote actually behaved very well during the process. Every reporter was very happy hearing that from their colleagues on the ground. But as the day goes to the end yesterday, we didn't hear good news, as there was a clash between the NDC and the NPP in the community. Now, there was 3 loss of lives at the place, and then you know when this happens, there's going to be this blame games going on. On the show today, we'll be looking at that, I'll say, the saga that went on in the Ododo constituency, and then we'll be discussing that and more. But currently, I have with me Mami Pokua. She was on the ground yesterday at the Ayawaso West constituency. She'll be giving us a review of everything that went on the field. Pokua, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
I can see that with your cup. With your cup there.
I will serve breakfast, but unfortunately, I had to quickly finish up with this before I take it. And thanks to you and your team,
so
I
there's
served this morning. A bit of it.
And then let's hear it. Flow then.
Okay. So yesterday, I found myself in the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. It was so far. Like you mentioned, attention has been on just 2 constituencies. Me, I count them as just 2 and the others because most people were looking at those 2 constituencies, and I found myself in one of them, which is the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency. This is by far one of the largest constituency. It has over 200, I think 209 polling stations, which increased by the time, and it has about over 15 electoral areas, close to 15 electoral areas. It was all peace and quiet. Attention especially was at the La Bauleshi constituency, where I got there. There was a lot of patrol teams, especially there. They had splitted that constituency into 2. I don't know if the turnout was poor because of what happened, or because people might have moved their registration from there, because as at the time I got there, of all the constituencies I had visited, it was one of the the polling stations with the lowest turnout. I don't know if they had.
What was the figure there?
At the time I got there, they hadn't collated the.
But what was the number of registered voters at the said polling station?
At the time, if I'm not mistaken, they were expecting around 300 plus registered voters, but they had about close to 100 people who had voted at the time. But it was all peace and quiet, though there were lots of patrol teams there. I spent quite some time there. Journalists kept trooping in and out of that constituency, especially because people were expecting that something could happen. I spoke to one of the electoral officers, and he was mentioning the fact that some journalists came and they wanted to cook up their own story out of that. There was a mini misunderstanding, and somebody escalated it and made it look like it was a riot, kind of. And he was saying they are going to disappoint Ghanaians. And truly, I feel they did. Comparing it to Ododo, which we were expecting people to have disappointed us, although we were all waiting for peace, some of us have itchy ears and all that. So comparatively, Ayawaso West Wogon, as compared to last year, was better this year. Yes, comparing it to the by-elections, I mean, it was peaceful or calm. It was very, even during the counting, everything was calm. It was very.
There wasn't any overcrowding at the collation centers.
At the polling stations, yes. The place was overcrowded. Myself, I was squeezed left, right, center. They told us that the front row after the EC had in front, just behind the bars, the barricades they had there, was for the press. Okay. But people squeezed themselves, so eventually we had to cross over and then joined the EC in the barricades because they were squeezing us so much. Some people were using a lot of things, were crossing us and all that, but it was all peace and quiet, trust me. Interestingly, I had one person who was giving more like a commentary. It was interesting. I think he was an NDC supporter. The moment NDC wins, like, go! Messi! Nice shot! Like that kind of thing. It was very interesting that people were filled with mixed feelings because there were people that massively wanted John Dumelo to win.
All right, yeah. With the counting of the results, we realized that the NDC supporters at some point were very excited when the results started coming in. Whilst on social media, we realized that Dumelo was trolled very much, looking at the other constituencies too. You were on the field and then you were giving us some figures. So at some point, I was very confident that, okay, Dumelo stands a chance. But then, in between, the results were not really
cold, had the counting on time. Okay. So especially where I was, that was where his office is, Okongolo. So that is where his office is. And just around that area is supposedly his stronghold. So after the counting was done there, done about 4 or 5 police stations around that area. Well, speaking to him, he came over. I think when the video, there was a trending video of him pacing up and down. I was actually there.
The place checking the results.
Yes.
Was just
moving up and down. It is funny because I didn't see him worry. He was rather confident while he was pacing. He got there and all cameras were on him. The moment he arrived, just like he arrived in the morning, all cameras were on him. So he got there and all cameras were on him. So I don't know if he was trying to move away, though he was pacing, but people were just trying to get him. I don't know why people made it look like he was worried, because at the time when we had the interview with him, he said he had listened to about 5, 6 police stations and it was confirmed that he was leading. At the time, he seemed very confident. So that people tried on that to make it look like he was worried at the time. But at the early stages, he was very confident he was winning because his strongholds had it all for him. There was quite a gap in his strongholds. Take Restaurant C at Police Station A. For the parliamentary, he had 308. While the NPP had 244. And then Police Station B, he had 349, while NPP had 201. So some of these margins were what, made him confident that, of course, some of us, the NDC around that area, all were very confident. They were very confident that they had won. A lot of attention was there, especially. But
it was a very strong vote for the NPP. The NPP has been on the seat for a very long time. What was did you expect Dumelo? Your take. Did you expect Dumelo to win the seat? Did you see Dumelo winning the impossible seat at Ayawase West?
Personally, from the onset, I saw him capable of bridging the gap. I thought the best he could have done was to bridge the gap. It will be very hard. Look at Lydia's. She won the seat from her late husband. She had been in power for just a year, from 2019, for just a year. People were still of the view that she hadn't done enough. So why don't we give her the nod? So it would be very hard to all of a sudden, in just one term, take the seat from her. That's what I saw. And Lydia was the type that was always on the ground. Dumelo did a lot of things that made people see it as competition for Lydia, but Lydia was with the people. She was with the women especially. I granted an interview with Dumelo where he mentioned that Lydia was buying votes. I can't say emphatically that she was or she wasn't, but to my best of knowledge, she was somebody that loved to give to the people. So if he saw that as buying votes, then he's entitled to his opinion. Yeah. But I kept asking him. He was very emphatic about the fact
that you were on his case telling him that you also gave out money to people. People came to you.
Because I don't see reason why you give money to people and you call that helping people. But somebody gives money to people and you call that buying votes. It's a bit weird to me, and then you are making it look like when it's coming from you, it's gold. When it's coming from somebody, it is paper. It doesn't
now
match.
Let's look at Dumelo's losing out in the Ayawaso West. Do you feel that the people that were supporting Dumelo were people that were not looking at the number of people that were supporting Dumelo on social media? Some of the celebrity friends were really supporting. Would you contribute Dumelo's loss to having his colleagues in the constituency trying to campaign for the opposition, his opposition candidate?
Okay, Dumelo's constituency, most people, some wanted him to win. Of course, some people didn't, weren't rooting for him. They thought he wasn't having the experience enough to. People still think he's an amateur when it comes to politics. He has little or no knowledge in politics. Okay. But I have this feeling most of the people that were making all the noise about him on social media were people that weren't in his constituency. A lot of people were out there, Dumelo is winning, but I keep asking, are you in his constituency to vote for him? So what gives you the pain that he's going to win his constituency? Just doesn't match up. I feel this is the clear indication that being popular is not enough to win votes. I rooted for A.B. Bright of Tema Central this year because she'd done so much on the ground for the people of Tema Central back in the year 2016. Before coming down from, she started campaigning for NDC in the year 2012, down till 2016. And while she was contesting, she did quite a lot for the people. And adding to the fact that she is a celebrity, it was quite obvious that maybe she would win. But she lost with a huge margin, a huge margin of 15,000 in the year 2016. This year, I was just hopeful. I was just wishing that she would win. But I'm not in her constituency. I'm not on the ground. I'm not registering even in her constituency. All these people, the numbers, the comments we see on social media are not people who were in his constituency. Lydia said something that she doesn't have the masses on social media, but she has the masses on the ground. She's the type, I used to follow both of them. She's the type that will post something and will barely get 3 comments. But Dumelo will make a sound and then he will get just like countless comments, views, and all that. And I keep asking myself, are these people in his constituency? So the numbers we were seeing on social media don't really match up to the numbers on the ground. The numbers on social media could be people from outside, people who are not even in Ghana to have voted.
All right. Do you see Dumelo coming back next election?
Likely. But from what I see with A.B. Bright, I wouldn't be surprised if he loses 2024. I won't be. It's 2 things. Either Lydia Seram relaxes and feels like, after all, if Dumelo didn't win this year, he can't win next year, and then refuses to do anything on the ground. Okay. Dumelo said something that the people are tired, but the people felt this woman just has been around for a year. Let's give her a chance. I spoke to a few people on the grounds, and they were like, it's true her husband had been in power. Her husband, she's been supporting her husband. But what has she done for herself? She's been in power for just 1 year. Why don't we try her? I know somebody who registered in her constituency just because she wanted her to have the chance to prove what she can do given 4 years. Okay. So I think if Malidia does know what he's about, and that he shouldn't be doing things. He shouldn't be doing things he's not supposed to do. Before he cleans the gutter, he needs to inform the assembly and all that. And from that debate, a lot of people just didn't like the woman. But I kept asking, are you in her constituency to vote for her? Yesterday after the election, I was like, I posted and I said, whatever the outcome is, ask yourself, did you vote? And did you vote for the one you wanted to?
Okay. All right. Today you'll be going to the grounds, right?
Yes, I'll be heading towards the NPP headquarters. I was there myself yesterday. It was mixed feelings. I experienced the fact that I experienced the part where the moment they see on TV that NDC is jubilating in a certain constituency, then they call to find out what is happening. Then somebody calms them down and all that. There were about 3-4 times that incident happened, and the women's numbers keep coming. They were all excited, hopeful that NPP had won, especially when Peter Amewu won Hohoi's seat yesterday. It was jubilation for like 30 minutes. Just because Peter Amewu won the seat. So it was a bit of mixed feelings there because the NPP feels they won, and listening to the NDC this morning, they also feel they won.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for giving us all the updates we have to know about the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency. You are the field Wagon. The Ayawaso Wagon constituency. This is the Voters' Choice on Active TV. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, my next guest, my next colleague, will be joining me, and then we'll continue with our conversation. We are live, and we'll be right back.
Private school. No me feel like I can be by a private school. Me standing. Me no my JMB because a government school. Me kela a private school. Only government a pay lulu. Me ni dwemo yo me. Obe idea le ne ko ke fitele. Salu wonu we nshaka wonye wo ya. Ke olenu na ayu o ka ba fite jo e. O ba fonu. Ghana biena jele no ege to ogbonyo dile o ba fonu be no tanu na akebo no ya le je na kan ni chake momi o ke dabi sibu lo gbo mokoto emi nti obia no mi dadi lumba twalala e ke na kan lala ngo na fe lala fe ye jele ke dadi lumba sumo e ba han le sika ko na tana kan lala han le pe alo mi mali je no se ne yu aketo ogbonyo dile Ghana be like a now, no need your committee in parliament, then no by a deputy minister, then no by a minister, then no by a vice president, then no by a president. Me kun abanya chombu, then no a president, then no libona your president. So your president all time, okay, o pako o abo mode, e wa no by ye kun, then okay correct way. Mini sha no what fe.
Heading to the polls to
We
select.
are across the country.
I am currently at
We are at your doorstep.
The name is called Odododi Odu.
We are first to break the news as it unfolds. We are the first to make the headlines in elections 2020.
TV, as we give you the in-depth of your choice.
We are first in location.
For your candid, in-depth analysis of political issues before, during, and after December 7, if it is politics, business, entertainment, and sports, then it's right here on Active TV.
This is the Voters' Choice.
It's up to you.
Okay, and
it's up to you.
Okay, sir. All right, you're welcome. You were at the Ablekuma North constituency yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, give us a brief on some of the things that went on yesterday.
At the Ablekuma North yesterday, as we got to the field, we were able to visit so many police stations. And every police station we visited, we realized that the place was cool. They were observing the various protocols. You won't be allowed to vote when you are not wearing your face mask. And the policemen were there, and we had so many people around. They would check your temperatures, and then they would also make sure you wash your hands before you even get closer to where they are voting. Yes, that was one thing we observed. And security was also very tight as well. So for all the stations we went, there wasn't any chaotic incident. They didn't report anything of that sort to us. So I think it went well.
Okay. Aside what was they told, looking on the, because you were on there,
sure.
What are some of the things that you observed that you realized were not really the usual thing at a polling center yesterday?
Actually, that was my first time going to that particular constituency. Okay. So like I said, to me, I don't know about the previous years, but from what I saw on the ground yesterday, it was cool. I loved it. Yeah.
Okay. And how was the attendance? Let's talk a bit about the attendance yesterday at the Ablekuma North.
Yes. You see, as at the time we got there around 7:30, so many people were in the queues. Just that some of the stations voting hadn't started then. Okay. Yes. And we were told, especially station like the Pentecost Press, that is at Odoko, we were told that they got their machine late. So I asked the officer in charge why, and he was like, they didn't bring the things early, and that it was missing. That was what the EC officials told them, and her name wasn't in the list. So we asked, and he said, because the lady did double registration. Okay. Yes, so it means when you do, according to the EC official, when you do double registration, your name won't appear. You will be absent.
So what was, she wasn't allowed to?
No, because you are absent on the list.
Okay.
As soon as you do double registration, you go and come. But then they will check, your name will be there, but it's absent. When you are absent, it means you are not there. Okay. So you won't be allowed to vote. Yes, that's it.
How was the woman's reaction realizing that this is the...
Actually, before we got there, the woman wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
The woman wasn't there. But the official said when they explained to her, she was like, okay. Though
she
the
was
woman...
okay, she's not going
yes,
to
like,
vote.
okay, I'm coming to vote, and you are like, oh no. you're absent because you did double registration, so you wouldn't be allowed to vote. And the woman was like, why? Oh, okay. You see, when you look at the reaction, the woman's demeanor, it means, according to the official, she accepted, though she didn't voice out, but she accepted. So she just went away, and then voting continued. So that was, those are the main 3 areas we were told about the challenges we had. Other than that, all those areas we visited, it was cool, everything.
What were some of the things you saw at the headquarters?
Quite interesting. Many people at the entrance, yes, dressed in NBC colors, some in some pink and ash jackets and all that. They were fully packed at the gate. So we had to, as usual, before you enter, you have to provide your accreditation. So they allowed us in. And then when we went in, there were people also in there. So they were going to have a press conference. That's why we went there. We wanted to just catch up with them so that we don't miss a thing. Yeah, so we went there and we had to wait. In fact, we waited for a very long time. And along the line, I was inside their press conference room when I heard the people shouting, yeah, we know. I was like, okay, then let me just go out and check. So I went out and I asked one of them, and the person was like, no, they said Esla is losing. That was it. That was why they were jubilating like that.
So they were excited because there's a particular candidate.
That's what the
position
man, yes.
Talking about us, Ursula losing out, we just saw this morning that she has retained a seat. She still won the Ablekuma West constituency. What do you think about Ursula? And I think this is like been 15 years in. Like that would be like
very long time.
But she's been there for a very long time when NDC was in power. Yes. During the 8 years she was still in power, and NPP came for 12. So that's 12 years. And then we have the
I'm sure they wanted her removal. That is why they were jubilating.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I think. I'm not thinking for them. I have no information.
I will understand because they are their opposition. They are party candidates also.
Yes, and I'm sure before they was leading Esla, right? I'm sure that's why they were jubilating.
Okay. But the Ablekuma North constituency is a very strong word of the NPP. Sure. We did a few analysis prior to the elections, and we got to know that it's a very strong seat. The NDC tries when it comes to the Ablekuma North in terms of voting, but the percentage, the NPP always goes ahead when it comes to
more than 57%.
When it comes to the Ablekuma North constituency. I'm very curious to find out how things are going to turn out in the this year's general elections because of how things are turning out.
So there was one thing. Do you know that from 1992 till now, the NDC have been able to win the seat just once? There, that was 1982. They won. That was it.
So it's been NPP,
and they always win with more than 57%, whilst the NDC is always around 30, 38. Okay. So if maybe miracles do happen, which you and I of course will do.
NDC are only seats they've not won before.
Sure.
With the results, provisional results coming in.
Sure.
We are still waiting, and I think AC has been able to declare some of the results for us. We got to know that Ayawaso, a very hot seat, has been retained by the NPP. Dumelo didn't stand a chance. But then, when you look at the margin between Dumelo and the incumbent, Anti-Leader, you see that there was 39, 37. Sure. What do you think? I think Dumelo, for me, I think Dumelo has done so very well. Thinking of this is his first time competing against someone like that, I feel he has done very well.
He was able to at least
close the gap. Yeah. So then like 2000 or so. He has done well so much, but things as to some.
Yeah, but to me, now in election, I don't believe in anything like you close the gap, you were closer and all that, because even one vote counts.
Yeah. So to you are more. You've lost.
You've lost. That is it.
Even
one vote counts. Before you can convince someone, vote for me. It's a whole lot. So when you lose with even one vote, I mean, it's very important, very, very important, even one vote. So that gap, I've heard people saying, oh, he came close, comparing to previous years and all that. Fine, they have fair argument. But me, I always say that when you lead by, even you lead with even one vote, it's okay. But it's not easy to win just someone to just go and vote for you. Like it's not easy. So you win, you win. You lose, you lose. That's it.
You win, you lose, you lose. Now your final NPP will retain the seat because this is a strong vote for them. But what do you think is the looking at the Ablekuma constituency? What do you think is the one factor that has really helped the NPP to really have a good hold of the constituency?
I think yesterday I was able to speak with few people, and they were like, always the person who will come for the NPP are their people. That was the reason two of them gave me, right? So it's like we are all in the area, we know you, you know us. So when you come, automatically we will vote for you. It wasn't like when they come, they do this or the NPP have done this. No.
But what if the NDC member too is coming from that same constituency?
I don't think that one. Let's see this. There cannot be the case whereby you are there and I'm also there and you will be known at the same time. You get it? Whatever happens, they will get a particular reason why they will vote for a candidate or vote against someone. Yes. So from the information I gathered was that when you come, they vote for the people that they know. That is it. So assuming you are from Ablekuma here, but you didn't stay here, and then someone is not from here, but the person stayed there. They are familiar with the people, familiar with that particular person. They know the person's movement and all that. So if it's time for election, you that is coming from somewhere, it doesn't matter whether you were born there before you moved or not. They will vote for the candidates they are familiar with. Yes.
Okay. So it's all about the party and what they stand for.
That's
all right. Clement, you know, we are waiting the result and then we are seeing a lot of things happening. What will be your final words wrapping up on this whilst we are waiting for the EC declaration?
For me, I still stand by my point that if you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. So I will just tell people to just exercise patience, because now, as soon as somebody's party leads with even 2 votes,
they are all manipulated.
Sure. So I'm just pleading with people that we should all wait. We should all exercise patience and then wait. The EC has the mandate to give us the final listen. So when they give it to us and we want to jubilate, even that, we should jubilate with care. Yes, because your freedom ends where another's own begins. Yes, so that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Your freedom ends when another's freedom begins. Thank you so much, Clement. I'll be looking forward to hearing from you with the updates from the Ablekuma North constituency. This is still the Voters' Choice Show, and you know it's all about you. We are talking everything that has to do with the 2020.
But the important thing is that this is not a war. Nobody is fighting anybody. Yes, ya chondremo, ya vote, ya chondremo. Kemo mismo bie, alo biele, mismo. Ene, ye no mosani. I don't expect people to die over this. You know, they should understand that we have only one country. You know, it's only Ghana. So if you, but I will tell you, those who make noise, boot for boot, so and so, which firepower do they have? If people are coming, if these security forces are coming, where would they be? At the end of the day, say when you vote, go home. When you vote, you go home. Around 4:30, we'll close at 5. Come and let's see, witness the counting. Don't walk about and disturb anybody. My greatest worry is those who are all declared spoiled ballot. If somebody would have won.
Welcome back from the break. This is Voters' Choice and we're live on Facebook at Active TV. As I said, make sure you leave a comment due to what we're discussing and we'll be reading that. Share, spread the word that the Voters' Choice show is live on Active TV. We are also live on YouTube at Active TV GH. You can subscribe to our channel and share, spread the word so people get to know. I am having a one-on-one discussion with some of my colleagues that were on the field yesterday. They called to give us update, but there might be some of the things they saw that they weren't able to update us on. So we are here to verify some of the things or issues that have popped up in the various constituencies they were represented. They represented yesterday. I have here with me Dominic. Dominic was our reporter yesterday at the Ablekuma Central constituency. Dominic, I don't know if you've been online, but before that, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Now.
How are you doing?
Very good.
Okay, I'm great. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if you've seen some of the videos trending online at the Ablekuma Central constituency.
I've not seen it, but because I couldn't spend a lot of time where I was supposed to go to NDC headquarters and do some reporting there. Okay. So after the time I left, I couldn't have much time. I didn't close very late. Okay. When it came, I got to do some 2 of the things in the office.
Okay. All right. So videos online. Let me update. Videos trending online currently shows that there was a very chaos. There was a chaos at the Coalition Center at the Ablekuma Central constituency last night. I want to ask you, how was the behavior of the people during the voting process?
As at 7:15 a.m., where I set on my voting at the Central. I was at Absukan President Check. There was a lot of queues over there, but the people were very comforting. When you look at the COVID-19 protocol, they were observing it. The security spacing where everybody was calm. And as at that time, the few people who turned up, as at the time I got there 7:15, there were only 8 people who were able to vote, cast their vote as at that time. But we have total number of registered voters to be 575. We're expected to vote yesterday
in the polling center.
In the polling center. That is Absukan Presbyterian Church.
Absukan Presbyterian Church.
Yeah. They're expecting 575 vote voters.
Okay. Can you speak up for us? So
okay. You can hear. Okay. So as at that time, only 8 people were able to cast their vote. When I observed the COVID-19 protocol, everything was in place. Temperatures were checked. People were washing out. Everybody was masked. But one thing that I observed was the queue, the distancing. And I asked the presiding officer in charge, what are you doing about this one? The people are masked, they're washing their hands, but looking at the distancing, it was a bit closer. That was the only thing that I was worried about. But everything, the security and then the other protocol that I was supposed to observe were in place. So from there, I moved to, that's it, the police, I moved to another center within the same polling station. That is Presbyterian B. As at that time, only 12 people were able to cast their vote.
Out of?
out of a total number of 490 were expected to vote.
Okay.
Yeah, and out of that number, they also observing the security, the security class, and there were not a lot of queue. There was only one queue there. And the queue was moving. But I went there. I asked them, were they able to start on time? So the presiding member told me, as at the time we came, they had an issue with their verification machine. So they tried to see, so they couldn't start on time, like expected 7 o'clock.
Okay, so they had a big
so they had a big delay in that. So they started somewhere 7:20. Then from there, I moved to a different police center within the same police station.
Okay.
That is Center 3A of Presbyterian. Only 17 were able to carry it. There wasn't queue enough, but only 17 people came and cast it after that time. They took that place, they were able to 19. Then I quickly moved to a different police center, that is Abzukan Police Barracks. There, it was only one polling center at that particular police station. The total number of people who were expected to vote were 558.
Okay.
And out of that number, 227 were able to cast the vote as at 7:45. I didn't see any security in place there, so I asked
there was no security.
I asked the presiding
the
presiding officer there, why are you having COVID-19 official observers there, but you don't have security in place? He said, oh, it's because that place is a barracks. They don't expect any names, but they have a security. He has moved to where I was before, that is the Presbyterian, to assist them to something, because that place is already a barracks. So they don't expect that. But this one is unusual. No matter what, people would like to see the security men to have that kind of fear in them if they plan to do anything.
Yeah.
He said, okay, don't take that in it. But he just left. Then from there, I moved to Methodist polling center. It's also within Abu
Yeah,
Dhabi.
let's look at the yesterday you spoke to us.
I spoke, but I'm not
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so let's look at the comportment of the people in the various police centers. I am asking this because of how things turned out in the night, where there was a chaos and then a man was shot. Actually, there was a man who was shot in the leg yesterday out of the whole confusion that went on at the coalition center. You were asked to move to the NDC
headquarters.
So
as at the time they were doing the coalition,
so
I wasn't
you didn't
around.
get
I didn't get a chance to
experience
witness the incident.
that. But looking at their behavior from the morning, was there any sign that showed that things really don't go well? There might be a confusion in the evening as the results comes out.
The few polling centers and the polling station I went, there was no sign of that sort, that there would be any kind of violence or incident of that sort. That what happened, like what happened. Everybody was fine. The people were comforting. They were in their queues waiting for their turn to cast their vote. So if she did not find, once she came in, her name is not there to be found. What is next for her? She said, they have nothing to do with this one. But it's like she has registered here, but the name is, they have on the voter's ID card, that is a registered center. But on the voter's register, the name was not found. I asked again.
So how were they able to resolve the issue? Because if I'm to leave my house to come and exercise my franchise, that's to vote, and then I come and you tell me my name is not on the register. How was the issue resolved?
I asked again and said, they've realized that she has done double registration. So automatically she has been disqualified. That is the reason why.
All right.
So I actually moved it once she has been disqualified through double registration. But I'm surprised that this incident happened in Agbekuma Center. Well, generally, the polling centers and the polling stations that I went to, the atmosphere was very calm. People were very comforting. The security was intact. So I'm surprised that this happened. I wish I were there at the to have the event.
Now, Ablekuma Central constituency, which that's where
I was supposed to report from.
Yeah, that's where I come from. The Ablekuma, so that's what I mean. But it's the seat there used to be for the NDC. The NDC was on it for a very long time, and then last election we saw the NPP taking over the seat from the NDC. Results coming in right now, provisional results coming in right now, shows that it's been declared that the NDC, something you saw happening, looking at the Ablekuma Central.
When you look at Ablekuma Central constituency, the trend since 2008, that is where I started my analysis. The incumbent, the one who won 2008, was able to retain the seat in 20.
That was 2012.
That was 2012 was able to win, and he lost to the incumbent. That's the former.
Had a replacement.
He had a
replacement. Was
replacement.
replaced by
Haruna Ali.
Aruna, and then Aruna lost the election
to Ebenezer Gilbert. So in 2000 the first era, 2000, the one who won that seat, he was able to retain it in the next 4 years and the next 4 years. So expecting the same trend. But if he was able to retain it, and the NDC candidate in 2008 was able to retain it in 2012 too, and lost to NPP candidate, the incumbent, Ebenezer Gilbert, I was expecting him to also retain the seat. That is my lawyer, looking at the trend. So I'm a little bit surprised that the results that is starting the seat from actually.
Okay, but if you look at the, I think Ablekuma Central happens to be for the NDC. If you look, I know it's a very swing area. Either of the parties can.
Whoever wins, try to retain
so I think the NDC will be happy about this. That they are finally